if any of you could provide a memory, quick and concise, we'd like to keep it pretty short so that we can keep things rolling, but it'd be awfully nice if we could have somebody else come on up here and say a few things. Boy, that guy had a lot of good friends. Great family. The extended family, so fabulous.
Hi.
Mike?
Well, I'm wearing a tag that says his best pal, but we all know that all of you are his best pals. I've known him almost as long as Dale, because we all worked at a pizza parlor called Straw Hat Pizza on Florin Road. That's where I met this red-haired, tall kid, and super athletic, super competitive, super attitude about everything in life. It was just really amazing. And Margaret, you worked at Straw Hat too, right? Yeah. So we worked with his sister. I knew his parents extremely well. And they were just really dynamite people. They were somebody to admire because they weren't like helicopter parents. They kind of let us do things that we shouldn't be doing, and Dale probably could remember that more than I did because he was in his backyard drinking at 14 or 15 years old, so on and so forth. And Margaret, if you remember, after the pizza parlor closed, all the employees were a lot older than us, but we had kegers. Remember, Dale? We used to go out and really party up. Todd, remember those days? Todd? Yeah. So it was really fun growing up with somebody like this. But I told this story for a few times now, and I want to make this brief because I know probably somebody else wants to say something too. But all of you are not hearing something that we did already not know about Robert. But I called Robert Bobby, and I called Robert all his life by Bobby, because when I first met him, his name was Bob, and then he changed it to Robert. Janine tells me I'm the only one that got away with calling him Bobby all his life. On my schedule when he worked for me, because I stole him from Straw Hat Pizza, from Dale's dad, and he came to work for me at Sidewalk Pizza in West Sacramento, on the schedule it would always say Bobby. When I addressed him, it was always say Bobby. When he came to my house in Maui, it was always Bobby. So I'm really thankful that I was the only one that got away with murder, I guess, because nobody else could call him that. But to the family, you know, how do you deal with a loss like this? How do you continue to go on? Well, I'll tell you how you guys do this. You listen to the people that loved your husband, loved your dad, loved your brother, and had so many fond things to know about him. And remember how good he really was. And these memories will last us all a lifetime. And all of us need to participate in these people's lives. We have all lost somebody very important to us. We need to make sure that we're there for Janine. We need to make sure that we're here for Royce. We need to make sure that we're here for his beautiful princess daughter, because we are now part of helping you grow up and getting through this terrible loss. And I just want to tell you how much I loved your dad. We had a lot of great times. And the biggest thing I told, I think, these kids, and I told Janine the other day, it's really amazing how you would not see somebody for a length of time, like a year or two, or even talk to them on the phone. And the moment you got with him, it was like all time had erased. It had been like we were best buddies for the last 24 months, and we talked every day. It was literally something amazing how that disappeared with that time factor within minutes of being exposed to your friendship. It just goes to show you what kind of quality man he was. And I was honored to know him. I loved him dearly. I am very, very happy that Taylor got to come out to Maui, and we got to spend some time together recently. And it was her first trip to Hawaii, right? Was it not your first trip to Maui? No? I don't remember, but anyway, it was a great time, and we got to have a lot of fun. So God love you. I'm praying for all of you all the time, and I'm always going to be here for you.
Mike, a long-time buddy. And Maria, hold on one second. I got a little carried away with some of these memories, and I accidentally jumped over Todd Popple, a very long-time friend. And I'll tell you, Robert talked about Dale and Todd, childhood friends. Todd Popple, thanks for being here today.
This is the Ansell Army, and 50 years. He was Bob Ansell, and then he changed it to Robert. We called him Bob still. And then we finally gave in to Robert, and he wanted us to call him Royce. And we're like, nope, we're saving that, buddy. And then, you know, you guys had the coolest dad. You know, he was constantly involved. And I was like the third wheel when Janine and Robert were dating in the back seat of the Volkswagen Bug. So anyway, thank you, Robert, for making my life great.
Heck yeah, Todd Popple in there since the beginning years. Formative years during junior elementary or junior high, where 6 or 7 elementary schools come to one junior high, and you're just looking for somebody to hang out with. And I can imagine that it was absolute just tight bonds that you guys formed up. Hey Maria, come on up here.
Thank you. Yes. I'm a neighbor of Robert's parents, and then Robert. And this is a letter to Janine. September 30th, 2024. My dear Janine, words cannot suffice to express my condolences to you and your family, to bring comfort from the most unexpected, tragic loss of your beloved husband, Robert. I am grateful to have spoken with you. While words fail, love abides. We will never forget him. Robert worked with Stan Drury, my colleague, the best video television news reporter for Channel 3 for centuries. Robert worked with Stan Drury and me to edit video of the historic preservation of our treasured McKinley Park. How grateful I am that I received a call from Robert last September 23rd, 2023, as I recall. Maria, Mom is turning 90. Come on over for cake and cookies. Now, Margot told me Patty's only 85. But I believed him. I grabbed my camera, taking these pictures, and my hat, my cowboy hat, and my assistant, Renee Kasnick, with her camera as well. We walked 1 block over, rang the doorbell, and there he was. Where's the picture of him at the door? Robert welcomed us with his great grin, loving heart, and undaunted, enthusiastic spirit. Find that picture? Yeah, this is, there he was at the front door. Yeah. Robert welcomed us in with his great grin, loving heart, and undaunted, enthusiastic spirit. Patty looked radiant with her flawless complexion. Where's Patty? The picture of Patty.
I think this one,
Yeah. Oh, here it is. His mother, 90, 85 or 90, whatever, she looked beautiful. Robert then took some time graciously to give us a tour of their family home with its floor pattern similar to the John T. greenhouse as was intended for the homes across from McKinley Park. Robert showed us favorite artwork and family photographs on the piano. While my photographs are not professional, they are meaningful to me since they illuminate the total love and devotion for his family. Photographs become even more precious now as they remind us of the joyful times and all that he loved. My heart and prayers are with you. With my love and gratitude, Maria. That's Robert, showing through the dining room where his mother was celebrating 90 with cake and cookies. And we will always, always remember him. And this was the first sign that was sent to Stan that told us of that honoring by the windsurfers. It was shocking news, but what a tribute that moment. Someone took a photograph. Yes, that's such a beautiful picture, and I thank each of you, and it's my privilege to have been here. Thank you.
Thank you, Maria. Thank you, Maria. I knew this was going to happen, that we would have an abundance of love and memories to share today from so many neat people. Is there anybody, Jeff, basketball player, you might be a quick memory you want to give? Or maybe you're not a speaker guy, doesn't want to do that. You're a coach. Okay, so he's coaching basketball at school, and what does he see? He sees Taylor playing volleyball. Coach Jeff.
I'm Jeff Oda, and I played basketball with, I used to call him Bob. It wasn't Bobby, it was Bob. So, it wasn't Robert, I didn't know him before, I just Bob. So I grew up as Bob. And I played basketball from 1976, 7. And I knew Janine from Waukee Miller days, from 7th, 8th, and 9th grade, and grew up with her. Then we all six saw each other again at McClatchy. And I didn't see Bob for a long time. And then, because we always practiced basketball in the auxiliary gym, because I coached the girls, and they played volleyball in the main gym. And I didn't know, I haven't seen him in years. And I see Bobby there, and what are you doing here? He goes, oh, I have a daughter that plays volleyball, and so every time they have a game, I would see him at every game, and the previous speaker says it felt like I haven't missed a beat. I probably haven't seen him in 20 years? Over 20 years. Then we started talking, it was like old times, and he was such a great guy. He was positive. He was positive from high school until I met him like 30 years later. So, I'll never forget him, and I'll miss him.
Coach Jeff, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Hello everyone, my name is Chris, and I didn't know Robert as Bobby or anything. I knew him, first off, as Royce's dad. So I grew up in Natomas, and I was involved in soccer a lot, and that's how we knew Royce. And Robert was always at, the high school games, and we had a really good high school team, and, things were great. And I remember one day, college coaches started calling the house, and one of the first things they asked for is, do you have like a highlight tape? You got any video? And I'm like, no, Royce's dad, can you help us out? And that's how we got to know Robert, and he really facilitated like that process. But I think something that's really cool is hearing everyone talk about memories and all the times that they had with Robert, but also highlighting the fact that, he was always recording these memories. So, Royce went on to graduate, I went on to graduate, and I still coach at the high school. And every year, Robert's out at a few games, and he's recording things, he's putting video together, and so I think that it's really cool to see that personality come through of always wanting to be involved and always being there. And then now, like every year the kids are, you know, sometimes it's, hey, do we have any, you know, video that I can send to a coach? And now it's like, hey, do you have any clips I can put on my Instagram? And just like the evolution of that. But I mean, it's about 15 years he's still involved, and all these kids know him, they see him around, and we're talking about all the wonderful memories today. But you know, Robert was a really big part of helping other people collect those memories, right? And so even this year, we won the CIF section championship, and who was at championship game? Robert. And he put a nice video together for all the kids, and it was, you know, such a wonderful experience for him to be part of all of that. So again, I don't know Robert through the windsurfing community or growing up, but I think it's important to highlight like all of the other communities that he's touched and been a part of, and helping other people share those memories forever. So thank you.
Thank you, Chris. Robert was a giver. He gave more time than he had. He sure as heck got it back. He got love back from all of us.
Hi. Hi. My name's Ray, and Ray Ortega. I'm a cousin of Janine, and I have kind of a funny story. When I first met Robert, I couldn't stand him. And the reason why is because he was so damn nice, and it was hard to understand that. It was hard to understand this white guy coming into this Mexican family in my hood, right? Franklin Boulevard, 22nd Avenue. And I was like, who the hell is this guy? Who this white guy? This is kind of my first with white people or American people. When I was maybe 7 or 8 or 9, I think it was at the time. And I was just like, oh my gosh. But you know what's really funny is I loved Robert. I've known him since I was a child. He's been nothing, he was nothing, and always was very positive, sharp. He did a lot for me. Robert, I don't think anybody knows how much I talked to Robert. I talked to Robert quite a bit, and oddly enough, he came in for advice for, I'm vegan, so he would always come in and get advice. And the one funny story that I know is when he transitioned to Robert, then I would call him Bobbert. I would say, oh, hey, Bobbert. You know, just jokingly, right, because he was so stern and so almost pissed that I called him Bob. I was like, holy shit, he's serious, you know what I mean? He really wants to be called. I said, okay, no problem. But then I'd say Bobbert, you know what I mean? Just to mess with him, you know what I mean? Because you understand, I grew to love this guy over the course of years. He offered his services to me to help me grow, and I just saw him as an incredible person to admire and to love, and you know, one thing I definitely regret. Taylor had asked for photos, and then I realized the lesson for me was take pictures of those who you love when you're with them. Any chance you can. Love all those that you love. I don't have any pictures with Robert. But I have some video that he did for me when a couple of times, and he made a couple of 3 commercials for me. Didn't ask for much. I just fed them. I might have given him some cannabis. I don't know. I don't remember entirely. Robert, sorry, Robert. I'm not, you know, I mean, maybe, I don't know. I said maybe. So anyway, that's my 2 cents. But getting the news was very crushing to me because this is such an unexpected thing. I can still hear his voice. I can still feel his presence. Everything about Robert I loved. I could not help but cry with Janine when she told me the news. I was shocked, severely shocked. And then I thought, who's going to make my video? That's what I thought. what's going to happen now? You know what I mean? Who's going to help me and be my friend? You know what I mean? I'm serious. Robert was like, I thought he was my best friend. What the hell? I know, that's what I'm like, I'm looking around thinking, what the hell? He was seeing all these guys, best friends, right? I was like, what the hell? Because every time I saw Robert, he was like, hey, you're my best friend kind of thing. I was like, yeah, Robert, we're going to hang out. Here's some cannabis. Maybe. I'm just joking. I'm sorry. I'm just kidding. Thank you anyway for listening. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You know I love, you know my, I mean, I'm trying to keep from, I'm trying to laugh, not to cry, okay? Thank you for giving me the time. Thank you.
Ray, you did awesome. You brought some good, lighthearted humor. I'll meet you out back afterwards, and we'll smoke a spleef together. All right? Yeah. You know, we are really at the time where we need to finish some food, get some drinks, and then they're going to bring out some of Robert's favorite desserts. And these guys make great food. They make great desserts. We're going to share lots of more memories here over the next couple of hours together. Unless there's somebody that just cannot stop themselves and needs to come up here and grab the mic right now. Hey, yeah. Tony, what do you got to say?
Listening to Ray talk made me think about Robert in so many ways because, you know, I'm Janine's cousin, so we've known Robert forever, obviously, since he came into the family, and the white thing is so true. But Grandma Gonzalez loved Robert, which was amazing because she didn't like very many white people. So that was really impressive. But one of my fondest memories of Robert was when I started going to Sac State. Robert was already there for a couple years. And that's when Janine and Robert were living in Carmichael at their little house. And I would go over there, and Robert said, Tony, you've got to take music appreciation with me. So we signed up for music appreciation class together, and we went to class every time together. And he was like kind of an older brother at that moment in my life who was just like, I'm going to show you how to get around the school, where everything's at. This is how you sign up for classes. And he was just so amazing that way. And to hear everybody else's stories, I thought I was his best friend too. Just kidding. But those were, and then he'd go, Tony, eat this ginseng. It's really, really good for you. And Tony, drink this tea. It's really, really good for you. Because he was like on a super, I mean, he was always doing that stuff, but like on a super health kick at that moment of life, right? Like ginseng was his thing. He was like gonna cure everything in the world with ginseng was his thing. But that's like my fondest memory of Robert is just being so sweet and so just take me by the hand and, you know, he's like, come on, I'll show you the way, girl. Follow me. That was so amazing.
Heck yeah, Tony. You've done a great job helping this family out in their time of need. Let's move this table. We want to get a couple pictures. Rich Baum, thanks for being here, taking photos, documenting this. Wayne in the audio visual, he's making a heck of a recording that'll be up on the Facebook page, hopefully. Yeah, and I'm going to cue you all up to some music here, and we're going to eat some food, and then they're going to bring in some dessert. Take it easy. Robert Ansell used to take it easy. Boy, he would take it easy. We all learned how to take it easy and give the most we could. Yeah, thank you guys. I'm going to grab one of those sandwiches. They're really good. Thank you, Wayne.
So again, it is intermission time.